If you're watching this video alone, late at night, I want you to do something. Look around your room. If there's an old doll, a stuffed toy, or even an antique sitting somewhere nearby, don't worry, I'm not saying it's haunted. But by the end of this video, you probably won't want it in the same room anymore. Because tonight, we're not talking about fictional horror stories. We're talking about real objects. Objects that people have refused to touch, refused to take home, and in some cases, refused to even look at. Some are locked away inside museums, some are protected inside temples, and one of them has received hundreds of apology letters from complete strangers. Scientists have tried explaining some of these stories, historians have questioned others, but even today, no one has been able to erase the legends surrounding them. So, turn the lights down, lock the door if it makes you feel better, and let's begin. The Busby Stoop Chair. England, early 1700s. Imagine you've been traveling for hours. The sun is setting, your horse is exhausted, and the first thing you see is a small roadside inn. You step inside. The smell of burning wood fills the room. People are laughing, drinking, talking. Everything feels normal. You look around for somewhere to sit. There's only one empty chair, old, wooden, nothing special about it. Just as you're about to sit, the entire room goes quiet. Every conversation stops. An old man standing behind the counter slowly looks at you.
Not that chair. It's just a chair.
Nobody laughs back. Almost exactly like this were passed around villages in North Yorkshire for generations. Whether every detail happened exactly this way, no one knows. But one thing is true. There really was a man named Thomas Busby, and there really was a chair that people became terrified of. Thomas wasn't an ordinary man. He was known for his violent temper. According to historical accounts, he was involved in counterfeiting coins alongside his father-in-law. But after an argument turned violent, Thomas murdered him. The crime shocked the entire village. Not long afterward, Thomas Busby was arrested and sentenced to death. As he was being led away for his execution, local legend says he looked back one final time, not at his family, not at the crowd, but at his favorite chair inside the inn. Then he spoke words that people would remember for centuries.
May sudden death come to anyone who dares sit in my chair.
Most people dismissed it as angry words of a condemned man. After all, how could a wooden chair hurt anyone? For years, nothing happened. Or at least that's what people believed. Then strange stories began spreading. A traveler supposedly sat in the chair and died in an accident not long afterward. Over the years, locals connected more sudden deaths to anyone who had dared sit in Busby's chair. During World War II, stories even spread that soldiers who jokingly sat in the chair before leaving for battle never came home. Whether every one of those stories was true, no one could prove. But the rumors became so powerful that people stopped sitting in it altogether. Eventually, the owners of the inn decided enough was enough. The chair was removed, not destroyed, but donated to the Thirsk Museum in North Yorkshire. Even today, it doesn't sit on the floor. It's mounted high above everyone's reach. Officially, there's no scientific evidence proving the chair is cursed. Many historians believe the deaths were coincidences that slowly became local folklore. Some researchers have even questioned whether the museum's chair is the exact same one Thomas Busby owned. But ask many locals, and they'll tell you the museum made the right decision. Because whether the curse is real, or whether fear simply kept the legend alive, there's one experiment almost nobody is willing to try: sitting in it. And if an ordinary wooden chair could frighten an entire region for over 300 years, What you're about to see next is far more disturbing, because the next object was loved by a little girl until the day it started changing on its own.
The Okiku Doll, Japan, winter 1918. A young man named Eikichi Suzuki was walking through the crowded streets of Sapporo. He wasn't searching for anything expensive. He wasn't searching for anything rare. He just wanted to bring home a small gift for someone he loved, his little sister. As he wandered through the market, one object caught his attention, a small doll, about 16 inches tall, dressed in a traditional kimono with large black eyes and neat shoulder-length hair. It looked almost alive. Without thinking twice, he bought it. When he arrived home, he handed it to his 2-year-old sister. The little girl's face lit up with excitement. She hugged the doll tightly. She named it Okiku, after herself. From that day on, the two were almost never apart. She carried the doll everywhere. She spoke to it while eating. She tucked it into bed every night. To everyone else, it was simply a child and her favorite toy. Nothing unusual, nothing frightening. Until 1 year later, Japan was struck by a deadly wave of illness. Thousands of families lost loved ones, and among them was little Okiku. Her family was devastated. Unable to let go of the memories they had shared with her, they placed the doll inside their family shrine. Every morning, they would pray. Every evening, they would place fresh offerings beside it. Weeks turned into months. Life slowly moved on. Then, one morning, Eikichi opened the shrine. Something felt different. He stared at the doll. Its hair. When he bought it, the hair barely reached its shoulders. Now, it seemed just a little longer. He brushed the thought aside. Maybe he was remembering it wrong. But a few months later, the hair had grown again. This time, everyone in the family noticed. They carefully trimmed it back to its original length. Problem solved. Or so they thought. Because the next time they checked, the hair had grown back. Again and again. Every time they cut it, it returned. Longer. As if something inside the doll refused to let it stay the same. Terrified, the family began believing that the spirit of little Okiku had somehow remained with the doll she loved most. In 1938, when the family prepared to move away, they made a decision that surprised everyone. They left the doll behind. Not because they wanted to forget their daughter, but because they believed the doll belonged where her spirit rested. It was entrusted to Manenji Temple in Hokkaido, where it remains to this day. Even now, the monks who care for the temple say they still trim the doll's hair from time to time. Scientists have examined strands taken from the doll. They confirm the hair is real human hair, but they have never been able to determine exactly how the legend began, or whether the hair truly continued to grow over the years. Some believe grief turned an ordinary doll into one of Japan's most famous ghost stories. Others believe little Okiku never really said goodbye.
The Busby chair and the Okiku doll may only be the beginning, because some of history's darkest objects are still waiting to tell their stories.